This past weekend's fixture, you lost 3-2 against UB. You had a chance with a winner or draw to go to regionals, but you came up just short. Share your thoughts, elaborate on your thoughts about the performance and how you felt after the game.
If you don't mind, I'll go first.
Sure.
Okay. It's tough.
I'll take this one. Actually.
Go ahead.
It was a difficult way to end the season. We felt like we had a chance. 7-2.
Good record.
We'd been on what I believe 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
With zero
With
goals
zero
conceded.
goals.
With
Four shutouts
zero
in a row.
goals conceded in those 4 games. And it's a disappointing way to go out, especially to lose the way we did.
Two defensive lapses.
Leads to
deflections. 2 goals.
Deflections.
Despite the tough end of the season, how about the season in general?
I think it went really well. Last season, we weren't even close to the playoffs, and now we had a chance to go to it at the final game, so clearly some improvement, and I thought it went well.
I think it was, I agree. I think there was market improvement, in the whole squad. We brought in some new guys, some new blood. Just organizationally, we were a lot stronger. We're going to lose some people next year, but I think this year was, we definitely made the most of our abilities, and it's a good sign for the club moving forward.
Absolutely. How about your individual performances? Are you pleased with how your form all year?
Personally, as the second leading goal scorer of the team, above one of our offensive players here, I think I did pretty well myself. Some games not so great, but overall, pretty solid season, I would say.
I sacrificed for the team. I played forward last year. I moved to outside midfielder this year. And it was, I felt like I contributed a lot to the team. However, due to some injuries, I was kind of vacillating between positions. I moved between forward and outside midfielder most of the season. So it was difficult for me to kind of settle into a groove. I know that I'm one of the valuable players that we have because of my ability to play multiple positions. So, I didn't have the luxury of some people on the team that play the entire season in one spot. Like I said, my versatility forced me into different areas onto the field, and I think that, one goal, it was a great goal, I might add, a game-winning goal.
It's debatable.
It was a game winner. We won the game 2-1. I scored the second goal.
Okay.
I think that my vision, pace, creativity, and just flair, my passion for the game,
You do have some
was
much
really.
flair.
It was pretty.
The
I think
one
the team-
goal you could celebrate. You celebrated it well with some flair.
I think the team. I think my contributions to the team go well beyond the one goal that I contributed.
How about if you had to identify a high point for the team and individually in the season, what would it be?
One high point I would
Is that
say.
shit goal he scored against Fredonia? Is that going to be the high point?
Hey, that went in, buddy. That was a game winner as well.
The shit goal? Is that your high point?
We won 3-0.
The shit goal, is
and
that
that was
your
the
high point?
first. A high point as
That's a language.
His high point, shit goal.
Give
Can I
me
say that on
shit
camera?
Apparently, yeah.
Poop
We'll
goal.
apply.
Poop goal.
A high point for the team, not individually, I'd say would be a win over RIT. They beat us pretty handily last year, so to get a 2-1 win over them was a pretty good thing to get. And low, I would say, would be the UB game, unfortunately.
I would have to agree. The high point would probably be the U of R. I actually no. I think our high point was against Geneseo. It was a difficult game, cold, wet, very wet. We had to travel there. The conditions were very, very poor, and we knew that we needed to win that game in order to stay alive, and that was the start of our 4-game run. So for us to squeak that game out, we played hard, we played well. I played a beautiful ball on the only goal scored, perfectly weighted. I think that has to be the high point for the squad, and just because the way we built off that down the home stretch, and I'd have to agree with Mike in terms of the season low was certainly UB. Halloween weekend, you want to go out with a bang. You want to be in the playoffs. Everyone wants to win. You always want to win. that was just a disappointing way to go out.
How about the player on the team that's most difficult to understand?
I think this is unanimous.
I think it's unanimous.
Muhammad.
Yeah, linguistically, Muhammad.
He's a good guy. He tries
Is he Kenyan?
I don't know.
I think he's
is.
Kenyan. I believe he's Kenyan. So
Whatever it is,
there's
I can't understand.
he speaks English, but there's still a barrier there.
It's a very thick accent.
Very thick accent.
Very animated
Yeah.
and passionate person. So, the passion just it doesn't have
I
with
literally,
the accent.
I literally don't know what he's saying sometimes. I would love to take his advice, but I can't understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. So
It's tough because I'm sure he has some things to offer, but
he's the most difficult linguistically. Psychologically, I have to say, it'd be our goalie, Chris Paradise. I just don't know what's going on in his head.
never happy.
He's just one of the strangest people I've ever met. I think he has a borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Granted, psychology is only a hobby of mine, but I think
You're
I think there might
expert.
be.
Yeah.
I think from my position, I'm fairly qualified to make the assessment that he might have some type of personality
I
disorder.
would agree with that.
It's safe to say. Most improved. What player on the team took the biggest jump up throughout the course of the season?
Most improved. We had a few players come off the bench. I guess Levi, he played well in the Geneseo game. We had a player go down. He stepped in for a few minutes with his sparkling white uniform amidst all of our money ones. He played well, was a solid guy, and he didn't get much playing time during the year, but when he did, he made it count. So I'd say he was most improved.
I think most improved would have to be Alex Vulaj. I don't know how you say his name.
Vulaj.
Vulaj.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him Vulaj. I've been calling him Vulaj for the past 2 years, so I'll stick with that. But, he started the season at forward. For whatever reason, he made the switch mid-season to outside midfield. And throughout the course of the year, he really kind of settled into that role. And he did well. He did well coming off the bench at outside midfield. So I would have to say, throughout the course of the year, he became a pretty valuable contributor off the bench for us.
And lastly, let's go most valuable, MVP.
Myself.
Definitely not Aaron Augustin. He offered little to the team. Often made fun of players.
Agree to disagree.
Was
Agree to
very
disagree.
negative
Agree to
the majority
disagree.
of the games.
Agree to disagree.
I'll give most valuable, though he didn't show up to the first few practices, to Aaron just because he scored goals in key times. But definitely not Adam. That's for sure.
Agree to disagree. I was the most valuable.
Fair enough.
Undoubtedly.
And your plans for next year? Are you going to be on the club team next year? And if you are, what are your hopes for the team next year?
I'm hoping to renegotiate my contract. I think we've seen that with the NBA and the NFL. There's a similar problem in the club organization's business model. I don't get paid any money to play.
It's a major flaw in the system.
So I think if we can work something out where I'm
we're
receiving
getting
some sort of
compensated,
compensation for my efforts.
I think I might play again. Yeah.
Is it Division I at the club level? Yes. Are we still luminaries for Canisius College? Yes. Should I be compensated for that?
Yes.
Yes.
We should.
Yes. So, by the way, am I going to be paid for this interview?
No, you're not.
Cut the camera, please. Cut the camera.
Can we turn this off,
Cut the
please?
camera, please.